most good traders understand the concept that like to be a great trader, you have to be an amazing loser. More often than not, my trade ideas don't work, but it's okay because I manage my risk.
Welcome back, everybody, to Be the Trader. Today is a Master in 5 session with Ricky Analog, and we're going to be diving into a very cool topic that I think a lot of you can relate to. And Ricky, thanks for joining me on this, brother.
Well, we're in Vegas. When in Vegas.
Hey, yeah, we are in Vegas. Thanks for mentioning that. Traders for a Cause, a really cool event. There's tons of traders here. We're going to have a good time. But Ricky, one of the things I wanted to ask you is just when it comes to like sharing ideas online, like Twitter, social media, a lot of traders do that. How can that be challenging or is it challenging to do that?
Yeah, it definitely can be, and it presents a whole spectrum of issues, right? Like what we were talking about earlier, where it can actually cause myself problems because I get inside my own head, think about things that are definitely external factors that shouldn't factor into the trade at all, which can cause you to make decisions based on those things, right? Which your decisions need to be laid out ahead of you before the trade. We talk about this all the time. You need to plan your trade and trade your plan. But the second you start thinking about these things that, like I gave this idea to people online and now it's not working, one of the things was, do I post a trade where it's just the entries on a swing and I haven't sold the position yet, so I'm not at my target, and you just like, wait a second, the market has a funny way of like showing karma or, just kibosh your trade. I think another issue it presents also is that, ideas are a dime a dozen. I actually talked about this the other day where, like I'll put out a Sunday prep almost every Sunday. Like I don't think we'll have one this Sunday because we're in Vegas. But every Sunday I try to generate a bunch of ideas that are hopefully actionable. Hopefully people can not copy the trades, but learn what I'm seeing and make them their own trades, right? But that's what I always try to like make sure people understand is that the ideas themselves are worth nothing. It's the execution, right? You have to create a plan and execute it yourself. I can't, I can give you the idea, I can tell you like what I'm looking for, but I also am only managing my risk. I can't manage 15,000 other people that follow me on Twitter's risk for them, right? So you got to learn to separate your social media presence versus your job, right? Like I have to make money to feed my family.
True.
I put ideas out because I like to help the community. So those two things have to be, it's walking a fine line.
Hey, we wouldn't be able to do these face-to-face interviews if it wasn't for our sponsor, Cobra Trading. So if you can just give them a few seconds of your time, we'd really appreciate it. Cobra Trading is the go-to broker for day traders and short sellers. And I'm not the only one saying this. In fact, Benzinga awarded Cobra Trading as the go-to broker for short selling. They have a heavy focus on direct market access order routing, so you have the fastest execution. They have some of the best locate prices and availability. They also have amazing customer service. I've experienced many different brokers, and it's why I use them every single day and why I'm proud to have them as our sponsor. Sign up now by clicking the Be the Trader referral link below and earn 1 free month of software with Cobra and 25% off all commissions. Now let's get back to the show. It's interesting because earlier when we were talking off camera, you mentioned that you were in a great swing position, right? And you were thinking like, I would love to share this, but at the same time, like it could impact your decision making, right? And that's so relatable because if I post something on Twitter, I rarely do, but if I post an idea, like I instantly start to be like, why did I do that? Because I know for me, like if it starts to go against me, then I'm human, I may be like, well now, not only is my idea wrong, but it's wrong in front of all these people, right? And so it can make you stop out sooner than you should, which could even make it more frustrating. Do you relate to that in any way?
Of course, man. I mean, there's probably nothing worse than stopping out before you were supposed to stop out and then having the stock laugh at you later by going to where your target was, right? And the funny thing is like you gotta get some thick skin. You can't worry about other people thinking like, oh, your idea didn't work. Because most good traders understand the concept that like to be a great trader, you have to be an amazing loser. More often than not, my trade ideas don't work, but it's okay because I manage my risk. But like you were saying, as soon as you start to think these thoughts, you have to realize you got to get outside of your headspace, because those are the kinds of things where worrying about what someone else might think, or thinking like you might have ruined your own trade by sharing it.
Right, yeah.
And then that has no factor into the trade doing what the trade's going to do. Like, it's funny, people go, oh, it's going against me, it's going against me. If you look at a chart in hindsight, you always go, oh, duh.
Right.
It went where it went, right? Well, guess what? In between where it started and where it ended up, it does all these things. The stock will do what the stock is going to do. And you have no play in that at all, right? Like, you might think, like, even if you trade large size, right?
Yep.
Maybe your entry might affect a little bit of the price action. Maybe your exit might affect a little bit of the price action. But once you're in, you're not doing anything. It's other people's auction process. Yep. So really it's stick to the plan, right? Because, and if you can't, if that's something that really affects you, my advice is don't share your trades on Twitter, right? Like, do what you need to do to take care of yourself first, right? If you can separate the two, then share and try to, be one of those community members that gives back. But,
before we wrap this up, and I'd love for you to share where people can find more about you, I wanted to ask you, like, and you kind of alluded to it when you're telling people, like, if that affects you, just don't do it. How do you manage that? Because you help a lot of people, you share ideas with your community. So, like, how do you balance that in your own head? Like, is there any advice? Because maybe there's people out there who want to share ideas, and they're like, man, I have great ideas, but I'm just scared to share them. Like, is there anything, maybe it's just like thoughts in your head that you kind of tell yourself. Is there anything like that to help you go through that?
Yeah, one is just understanding that there's no such thing as like a bad idea. The only bad trade, right, is one where you didn't stick to your plan or have a plan. You can always you can throw 20 analysts in a room, right? And 20 analysts will tell you 20 different opinions on what this stock is going to do, right? So you'll always find some people that will agree with you.
Yep.
You'll always find some people that say your idea is stupid.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter, right? You're going to be wrong, and most people are wrong a lot, and they still make money, right? Well, the traders that are profitable.
Yes.
For me, having a high win rate is much harder than to have a low win rate but just have asymmetric trades, right? So I'm not trying to bat 90%. I'm like, and so the second I realized that, dude, I'm gonna be wrong all the time, and I'm okay with that. And sticking to, I have a philosophy that the 4 best words any trader can know is I do not know. Like, and it should be your mantra for everything, because in reality we really don't know shit about shit.
Yep.
You'll always hear me talk about the few things I do know that are objectively, rationally, non-debatable, have to do with a chart and saying, what is the trend? Is it making higher highs and higher lows, or is it making lower highs and lower lows? When we have that discussion, I'm a genius, because I know it inside and out, and that's my lane.
Yep.
But I stay in it. Anything outside of that, I don't know. I do not know, and I'm okay with that.
Yep. Well, look, Ricky, man, I appreciate you so much, man, joining me today. And if anyone has any questions, Ricky, where can they find where can they find out more about you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Ricky Analog. I'm rarely on Instagram anymore, but I have one. It's at Ricky Analog.
You used to do it all the time.
I know. It's tedious.
Gotcha.
And TrueTrader.net. I'm a moderator over there, so that's what I do. Actually, in YouTube, I do the Sunday preps at True Trader's YouTube channel. That's a weekly thing.
Cool. Well, look, everybody, y'all need to share this episode with some friends, because I know you got value from Ricky today. Y'all take care. Thank you so much for being a fan of the show and watching to the end. To give back to you all this month, I actually reach out to Falcon Trading, and we're going to do multiple giveaways this month. Here's what we're doing. We're going to give away a computer. We're going to give away a docking station, which basically turns your laptop into a computer station. A monitor mount that holds multiple monitors. So for those who have the dream of having that massive monitor station, we got you covered. And multiple $100 gift cards to lucky winners. All you have to do, click the link below. It'll show all the details of the prizes and the rules. so that you know exactly how to win.